I'm gonna mute this one until we get our third party showing up, which is Ricardo Diaz. We're going to be discussing the update on ACTOYS. So I'm going on mute until the other party arrives. Y otro componía. Sculpting magic. Ricardo Diaz.
I'm here.
Yeah, I did a promo thing for you. It says sculpting magic. Ricardo
Great.
Diaz. What's up, Papa?
Great and very exciting about how things are coming with sci-fi configuration.
Wonderful.
Oh, what an amazing diorama you have there with the Lord of the Rings. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. I just opened up Gandalf the other day, and
Yeah.
I had opened up Aragorn like a few
Seems to be good quality. Yeah.
It's good quality. It's a little light. There were some complaints I had, but overall, I thought they did a pretty good job. You gotta see the review. I put it on the channel, the Toy Rat channel. But yeah, the only thing I really don't like is this one here. The sword, like they made one piece. This all one piece, the staff.
Yeah.
The sword, they made it in two pieces.
Oh man.
They made this part right here
Yeah.
molded. This is molded, but this part up here is not molded. Entonces, mira.
The fixing there. Yeah.
Yeah, so they have like a little I don't know if you can see it. They have like a little plastic
Yeah.
around the hands to hold the sword in place. But
Yeah.
it moves too much for me. I don't like how much it moves.
Yeah.
It would be like if they made this one and it wasn't one whole piece, but this is one whole piece, right? It's molded. So
Yeah.
it doesn't shift around in the hand, you know. But
I don't.
I'm being ¿cómo se dice? Un snob. Porque it's still very, very, very good for
Yeah.
the price. For the price, I think this was only 60, you know, and this might be even less than that, might be 50, something like that. So,
No, nice price.
well, it's a nice price for me because it's un regalo, you know,
Yeah.
it's free. You
I
know.
understand. I understand. But I see your points and the showing in detail as you're telling me. I can see some things that another companies like Iron Studios and Sideshow Collectibles done with another method and this kind of figures. And yes, I can see what you're talking about. It's about it. You know why they did this way? They did it because it's about the materials. It's
Yep.
different materials.
Yep.
It's not the same kind of plastic, and it's not the same kind of um, stuff. So they are making with a different molding process and different things mixing together. So at the end, maybe it's not the best balance
Yeah.
for high quality, but it's the cheaper solution to make.
More economical. That's what I thought. Pero if you think about the logistics, if
Yeah.
you don't have to create this piece already, if this piece is already going to be a single piece, why not make this a single piece and put it in the hand?
Yeah. I understand.
I don't understand the choices they made, pero it's
Yeah.
a small thing. It's a small thing.
I,
Everything else is beautiful. I love the statues on these. I mean, parece como Ian Kellen, So
yeah,
Ian McKellen. So I think they did a very good job in the sculpture of the face, and they
yeah.
did a lot of good detail work on the outfit.
In
That's
the clothes and everything, movement of the clothes on Gandalf is looks very nice at the end, and I feel that is some quality on that, but I feel as well some things that at first you don't understand when why they took that decisions on that, but the balance is that we have an intermediate quality statue,
yeah.
but we will have better quality only with a few changes that making the real sensation that you have a unique piece in your hands. But
Mm.
at the end, it's about money. It's about money to save some money, taking another cheaper materials out there in the factories and this kind of thing. So, but okay, let's go. It's nice.
Yeah, but it's nice.
Tony, I wanted to have some minutes with you to talk about a little bit how we are going with the sci-fi configuration in the displays for ACTOYS. Okay,
Okay.
the thing is, just now we have some furniture. So we have two seats, one table, and other things, another items I'm working on. So we are going to have almost 7 different props elements about the furniture in sci-fi style, and we are going to have the modular set, standard modular set to make the panels, the basic panel system to build up the complete scene.
Mhm.
And we have the arch gates, stargates designs I show you, and I'm working as well on windows, kind of windows and other elements that you can put on the panels to decorate and to build up your set, okay, with the safest style. That's what I have on my table. I am working hard to get it all ready as soon as possible. But in the middle way, I think what you talk me about is the a reasonable thing we must do. That is to try to understand how is working these basic panels without anything, only about the working system, how it's working, everything. Yeah, yeah, how it is
Everything locks together in the grid
exactly.
format because I think even without um, completing the three different types that we're gonna do,
Yeah,
even without completing it, we can illustrate for toy makers
yeah,
and other investors what the potential is
yeah,
just by showing the interlocking grid panels and what they're capable of doing, right? So I think that's probably a focus. I love what you're doing. Don't stop. I think that between um the scenes the scenes that you're starting to create gives a lot of opportunity for in thinking about what you can and cannot do
yeah,
inside these spaces and maybe give people the opportunity to comment about it como un focus group, tú sabes.
yeah,
And I want to focus on that. I want to get people together. So my goal while you're working, my goal wants to be to get a high level of people together who are toy buyers, toy makers, and toy users, and put them in a room virtually, so that we can tell them how it works and let them tell us what they think about the product and
yeah,
how it can be improved or what they think about it, and then we can go back and say, okay, Ricardo, this is everything that they talked about. What do we want to implement? What do
Yeah,
we want to make the changes on, if anything? Maybe it's nothing, but what do we want to do to make these people happy?
yeah,
Because they represent a spectrum of different types of requests, across the board. So I want you to keep doing what you're doing. But I think we also need to focus on the basics.
yeah.
Yeah.
I understand. That's the reason I wanted to have this little meeting with you
Yeah.
in order to talk about how we are going to proceed.
Yeah.
And I'm going to prepare the panels and everything to send you the files in order you can send to the printer partner. You get and and check everything is in the right way.
Great.
So
Great.
that's the plan at first. And at the same time, I will be working on the rest of the designs for the sci-fi configuration, and I'm working also in the fantasy setup as well.
I
Uh,
can't wait to. I think that's going to be crazy because I know your brain, your mind. So my expectations is I don't want to. I don't want to make you feel too crazy, but I feel like your brain is going to make some very exciting fantasy pieces.
oh,
So
thank you.
I'm very excited to see what it is that we start with from the baseline. I think it's gonna be very fucking cool. I think.
And now you have this Lord of the Rings
Yeah.
figures. For
Yeah.
example, it's a nice opportunity to build up the set and place that guys on that.
Oh
So
yeah. Yeah.
this is one of the things I have in mind, because one of the things I wanted to tell you is that normally if you analyze the figures, I'm talking about dioramas now.
Hmm.
You can find out there some dioramas that are build it up as they are. So you can change anything. For example, the typical big diorama with a character fighting with another, and you have some elements on that, but you can play with that. So my one of the things I want to introduce in the fantasy displays is about, for example, gargoyles,
Mm.
the typical Gothic gargoyles and these kind of things. That they are this itself a decorative, or maybe something that is not a character itself, but
Hmm.
give a second focus on the scene
Yeah.
that represents uh, the energy of the rest of the characters that are in the
Battle.
lab you
Yeah.
got.
Yeah.
So, for example, Gandalf, yeah, you got a nice pose there, but if you put in the display, imagine that you put it there, for example, behind Gandalf, a kind of panel with creatures that are trying to
Yeah.
trap Gandalf, for example.
Hmm.
So it's the same figure, but it's not the same
No, because you get a, you
sense.
get you get the you get a scene now. Now you get
Yeah,
a. It's taking imagination to
yeah,
the next level, to the next
exactly,
level, right?
exactly,
Yeah, I
exactly. So
I 100% agree.
something I got it here. For example, I'm going to develop something that is, imagine the 50 per 50 centimeters panel. You are going to have a module that is fitted to the panel, to the ground, for example, to the ground panel or lateral panel, what you want. You put it there, and it's a complete clock scene that is, for example, ghost. Imagine ghost trying to trap, or died skeleton hands trying to making a hole that are trying to trap you. That you see in between that it is something dangerous that is going to give you the sense that there is an action scene, really. So
Yeah.
that is the kind of things I got in my mind when I think about it, the the fantasy stuff and another things, for example, typical elements as well and these kind of things. But it's much more about the ACTOYS is action.
Yeah.
What I mean is trap your imagination, give you the opportunity to fly about what you're seeing. No? So
Right.
I got it in my plan, but I understand the point that we need the next week. the, sorry, between in the not farther than in the middle of the week, we must be able to get the files um, to print it out there in USA with your partner and try to understand how how we how we are going really
Yeah.
with a real thing in hand.
So when you're creating the STL files
Yeah.
for printing, are you designating the location of the magnets, like where they go inside the piece?
Yes, because I have to plan, but I have been thinking about one thing. The thing is, the panels. Okay, we have the base, the base panel that is in the table, and we have the lateral panels. You can put it one, two, or three on the top. But the thing is, the magnets is you know the magnets have a pole and a positive and negative, and you have to be sure that they are placing in the way that they are
Mhm.
going to be connected. You know, if not, they are going to be refused.
They're gonna push. They're gonna push.
Yeah,
If
exactly.
you don't.
So
Yeah.
one of the things I'm thinking about is to put it in the way we mix metal with magnets in the way they are going to fix always. You know what I mean?
So there's a locking mechanism
Yeah,
and there's a magnetic mechanism on top of that. So it locks in, but it also has magnets to hold it in place. ¿Verdad que sí?
no. What I mean is that you have this one is metal,
Okay.
this one is magnet,
Okay.
or
Gotcha.
it's plug.
Gotcha.
But if you have a magnet and you have a magnet here, it's
Push.
easy to
Okay.
have some fail to make this system can works only because if someone uh, plays the wrong pole position in the magnet in one of the pieces, it's
Right.
going to be refused.
Right.
And metal is cheaper. So what I wanted to mean is that you remember the panel have 45 degrees in the
Huh?
corners.
Yep.
Yeah, okay, this way,
Yeah.
and they have all the laterals in the chisel.
Okay.
Okay. The first idea was to place some magnets on all this area. Yeah, but remember we have the connectors.
Mm-hmm.
So the thing is, why not to put all the lateral chisel
Uh-huh.
uh, with a magnetic how is in English a thick 1 millimeter thick metal
Okay.
all the border.
Okay. So it's one continuous piece instead of magnets.
Exactly, but metal. But this way it's going to be cheaper, less magnets,
Mm-hmm.
and it's going to be easier to fit because you have to get the exact location of the magnets in that way because you have all that part is able to be fixed with the rest of the magnets. I don't understand. I don't know if I explain it in the right way.
No, no,
You
yo entiendo. I mean, it makes perfect sense because what you're saying basically is, and I'm only re-saying it so that everybody watching it understands what we're talking about. When
Yeah.
we're creating a square boundary, it has a chamfered edge. that chamfered edge is 45 degrees. Now we have a connector piece that basically fits in between those connector panels, okay?
Yeah.
But what Ricardo is saying is that instead of using smaller endothesium magnets that go all the way around, to use a continuous piece of magnetized metal that goes all the way around. So now we're not worried about the diametric opposition to the magnetic poles pushing away from each other. But the fact is that it doesn't matter where you are on the panel that has the metal piece, a magnet will connect to it anywhere around the surface. So now we're not trying to hit individual points, but we have the entire surface to use for the magnet's sake. Am I saying that right?
Yeah.
Okay.
That's something I was improving in my mind, because magnets are going to be something great, but must to have some help
Yeah.
to people, because I want to the concept the concept is easy to use,
Yeah.
and the easy to use is to go for these methods that give us the opportunity to make it as easier as possible and as cheaper as possible as well. So it's something I wanted to talk to you, because for now I have the original idea to put all about the magnets, and I think that the combining metal and magnets in the right way is going to be the best solution for this construction.
I agree. My question is going to be in the sourcing of the material,
Yeah.
because right now it's very easy for us to get the small endothesium magnets, right? So how difficult will it be for us to obtain, a continuous piece of magnetized metal that we can use?
I tell you, it's not difficult, because if you want to, it's not to make a continuous itself. It's going to be to have the piece
Four
design,
pieces. Four pieces.
yeah, 4 pieces, and you cut it with laser.
Okay.
With laser, you tell to the metal factory to cut it, in the size you need, and with the line you get them the design, the exactly design. So you only have to glue it on
Okay.
the borders.
Yeah.
You
I
put
like this idea. I just think we need to guide the printer, because the printer is going to be the one who's going to be, you're going to send the STL, they're going to print it out, they're going to clean it up, and they're going to have to add the magnet in, right?
Yeah, but I'm going to send as well, not only the STL file. I'm going to send an vector file,
Perfect.
a vector file with the
The outline,
dimension.
the outline. Okay, perfect.
Yeah, in order to be coded in laser, by laser, in some metal shop.
Yeah, that's perfect.
So that you glue it, and after that, in the panels. And one of the things I'm trying to fix as well as possible is the possibility to make the things in the way that, imagine that you have the 4 corners, yeah, not the 4 laterals. Sorry, you have the 4 laterals, yeah.
Uh-huh.
So another possibility, maybe better, is to make 2 laterals in metal and 2 laterals with magnets.
Okay.
Why? Because they are symmetrical. So when you need to fix metal with magnets, you have positions you can change to fix it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
It's
So
it
you can move
is
and lock them in different places.
Yes, it's much more universal to make
Mm-hmm.
these 2 laterals with magnets as the original idea, and the another 2 laterals with metal. I'm talking about the 45 degrees and all along. I'm going to about the border of each panel.
Okay.
Two parts with metal and 2 parts with magnets. Sorry. So by this way, you are able to put the position you need to fix metal with magnets, and make it much more universal.
Yeah.
It's going to be better in terms of flexibility and in terms to build up the set as big as you need.
Okay.
So the method is not about four laterals. It's about two laterals and another two with magnets. I don't know if I explain it,
No,
but
no, you explain it fine. I understand what you're saying. What
okay.
what I think, remember that whatever we finalize
Yeah,
what we're doing,
yeah.
this has to go to patent. So this patent is about connectivity because magnets already exist.
So yeah,
We need to be very clear how
yeah,
our system is different than everybody else's in order to do that. So the things that you're saying, they're fantastic. We just need to make sure that once we establish the method that we're going to use, that we are very clear
yeah,
about how we write it down,
yeah,
because that has to go to the lawyers, et cetera, for them to go look
yeah.
at. Okay.
I'm going to build up a document
Okay.
for Discord
Okay.
to explain which laterals are going to be with method, how is the method part, dimensions, where we are going to be fitted the magnets to be connected with and everything. So the next week to me is about to finish a document and the STL files and vector files
Great.
in order I send you and you can test it by your side there in USA with your printer partner.
Yep.
Yeah.
I'll take a
And
drive up to Virginia and we'll get them printed out. We'll take a look at it right there.
exactly. So that's it, Tony. But I wanted to inform you what I'm working on, what I about that this kind of updates I've been thoughting about, and now you have much more information about what I have on my table.
So one more thing before I'm already over, but that's okay. One more thing before I let you go. I want to start thinking about the whole company.
Yeah,
And so you working on ACTOYS, beautiful. And then I have, Daryl Murphy is working on the VIM, which is the comic book side of things.
yeah,
And Jasmine's working on the apparel, the clothing side of things. But when it comes down to ACTOYS, eventually we're gonna have to create characters.
yes,
So my feeling is, one, we need to have the magnetic strips that allow me to use the things I have already in the diorama. That's one. But I also think we need to start considering the comic books from Vim that we're bringing into
yes,
the universe, right? So one of the comic books that we have, se llama Revigen.
yeah,
It's sci-fi. It's sci-fi. It's
great.
it's outer space. It's superhero outer space. A lot of crazy shit going on. So what I think I want to do is I want to have Daryl send you the book, either digitally or hand, whatever, and let you imagine from the book things that we can create specifically for that universe that
Yeah,
are unique to not only ACTOYS, but to start pushing Revigen. So now we have the comic book, we have the clothing, and then we have the toy. So a synergy uh, to create the universe around the character set.
yeah,
And obviously, you could use it for anything, but with the Vim and the way we have things set up, this belongs to our company. So everyone else is out of a licensing fee, right? They'll be
yeah,
using our structure to create their own characters to use in
yeah,
our universe, but we don't own those characters. So I want to give a little bit of focus to the character development, and
yeah,
we just brought in another artist George Nesbitt, and he does like anime style work. So I want to just make you start to think about how we can incorporate uh, the vast majority of things that we're trying to bring together. Because from the outside looking in, for other people, they don't know what I'm doing. It just looks like there's this and there's this and there's this and there's this and there's this. But I don't know. All the things I'm doing, they create a circle and
Yeah,
they feed each other. So if we have the comic book feeds into the toy, or the toy feeds into the comic book, or the clothing feeds into the, doesn't matter. It's still a circle. So it doesn't matter where they start, we push them around the circle to the rest of those things that are in the space. ¿Tú
yeah, I
sabes?
understand.
Yeah, yeah.
And I
So
got, and I got,
everything that we have, I'm gonna try and send it to you so you have the first idea about what, and then we'll bring the artist into the conversation and start having some communications about what we can do to enhance what it is that we're bringing together.
okay, I was talking uh, about the cards. You remember I told you the idea about the cards.
Uh-huh.
I share my ideas in on Discord, in a private message
Uh-huh.
with Daryl, and he told me that he loved the idea about to make some cards, and he's working on some designs,
Yep.
or he's thinking about that.
Yep.
And now listening you, what I understand that is we have another artist that can make we push the lever,
Mm-hmm.
and you are trying to configure the way to make something that ACTOYS can help them to push up the level. Yeah, I understand. So
Yep.
I got is something you maybe you can't believe what I'm going to tell you, but some time ago I thought, why not to make it the 3D version of the comic covers, but not in the way some guys make that out. Some of the guys making an interpretation about how it looks in 3D, the cover. And no, I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about imagine a little box display in the comic format. In this case, it's horizontal, and you told me that you are developing in this way, no? The comic cover.
Uh-huh.
Imagine little boxes, a toy system, magnetic, clock, or some props to configure
Uh-huh.
the, the cover scenes, and at the end, make the figurine of the character, the main character, to be placed on the scene to recreate by yourself. You can have the diorama of the comic cover, but you make it by yourself. You can build up by yourself.
Oh,
So
piece by piece. Yeah.
I think that's the idea, because it's not as big as the ACTOYS displayers. It's going to be something smaller in a 1/4 scale maybe,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
and it helps to make connectivity with the people that is considering to collect all the comics. Why? Because when you read something, you introduce your mind on the history. But when you build up it yourself some elements of the comic, and when you make the second one, you have the first issue, the second one, the third, you can sell, or you can display with every single issue
Mm-hmm.
different props that you can place into the diorama you get in the first one.
Mm-hmm. I love it. I love it. I love
But
it.
this is why you wanted to collect all, because
Yeah,
you want to have,
now you have to have them all. You start with one, you can't stop now.
yes. That's
Yeah.
the first idea that
Give
came
me
in.
your take my money, please.
Exactly, taking my money. That's
Save
the
my
first
money.
idea. The first idea I get in my head when you tell me about that. That's my idea. That my initial idea about that.
I love these ideas. So here's what I'm gonna do because I have to get off with you. But I'm gonna talk to my other friends
Yeah.
who have much bigger channels than me. And I want to get together the focus group. The focus group. So what we want to do in November, I'm planning to have a toy show for us. Okay.
Okay. Okay.
I don't think we're gonna have all of ACTOYS ready to go. I don't, but I think we're gonna be closer. And
Yeah.
in the meantime, we're gonna go for the Pop Funko holders and the frames for the toys, and that's gonna be what we push on the most of. But at the same time, I want to have that focus group and let them take a look at all of our stuff together. So even if we're doing it digitally,
Yeah.
just virtually, and we're looking at ActToys, let them comment about it. So they can comment about the frames for the Funkos, they can comment about the frames for the toys, they can comment about the frames for the cards, what we just talked about. We can bring in the other part of the company to discuss how we're doing that, and then we finish it with the Act Toys, and we
Yeah.
get everybody to communicate. So we have to have that focus group done, uh, a long time before we can actually do production. So I like to try. Today is the first, so maybe we can try for July 1st.
Yes.
This is June 1st today. So 30 days. Como
Yes.
30 días. And in that time frame, I'll do the legwork in the background to get everybody together, create the meetings and notes, and put everything together. You keep
Yes.
focusing on what you got. You've got enough to do. You got plenty of shit to do. And then I'll work with Daryl and everybody else in the background, and then I'll send everybody else out the communication as to what we're doing. That sound good?
That sounds great. And I tell you that I'm working in the way we plan it together.
Perfect.
Uh, and I got all the things very advanced. So I think in July we are going to be able to get all the sci-fi ready and another stuff as well because I'm now my mind is on ActOys and on the whole company as well. So don't worry, I'm focused on that. And now I have the dates you are giving me, so I'm going to be as as good and as fast as possible to get the things in the way you can display it on that show you're planning to do.
Great.
And that's something that now that I get that information, I'm going to exclude every single thing. Next week, you are going to have the STL files for the standard panels and everything. You are going to get it. And as well, I'm going to send some STLs about the gates and everything to put it on the displays. So you are going to receive the first set about that, and you will be able to set up all the things.
Wonderful.
About the rest, don't worry. I will be working to display information, make the things in the way I can contribute to the company in all the things that we have on the table.
Beautiful. And I don't worry about anything when it comes to you. I know you know what you're doing already.
No,
So
thank you very much.
no, I feel very comfortable. I'm very relaxed. I don't worry about nothing. I love what you're putting out. It's fantastic work. So I can't wait to show it to everybody. I gotta go. Pero te veo más tarde, okay? I wanna load this up on the Discord so everybody can go back and see the video,
Okay,
and then we'll go from there, okay?
okay, perfect.
Okay, te veo.
Hasta luego. Chao.
Ciao.